But do you think that's what this is? To pay us back for all the devious things they did? I'm like, hold up, before the rollout. Don't get me wrong, I'll take it funny. I'm always in the mood for some money, but we know freedom ain't free, bro. It's priceless, and we don't trust the state. I feel like they might just be having an agenda to hide some kind of way to try and make the dying dollar survive. Cause the word on the street is whispering bricks. Something ain't making sense. It's the game about to switch that physical paper, disintegrate the vapors, and we can't grow food on digital acres, bitch. Rather be free or be rich. Either one without power is still a wish. I ain't trying to stop the check if we getting paid, but if you look at everything in this country we made, we would have triggered but the wool got pulled. But what would you do with yours if we got paid in full?
Reparation.
Yeah, that's dope. That's definitely dope. Peace, fellas.
Yo, peace. What it do?
Peace.
We live.
Yeah, let me take that overlay off. There we go. So what's good with y'all brothers, man?
Man, just maintain it, brother. Maintain it,
Another
man.
glorious day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy New Year.
Indeed. Y'all do anything special?
Nah, I just had a little card game night at the crib.
All right.
Yeah, staying out the
man.
way, bro. I was on the couch with the family.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah, so give them a little insight about that video, True.
Oh man, that's just, peace, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Plot in Progress. So I'm your host for this evening, True Father. Got my man Crondo and Kylon up in here. The video that y'all just seen is a video of us on our land, putting up the fence, driving in posts, using the auger and what do you call them things that you bang the joints down with from the top?
I don't know what they call bangers.
We'll go with that.
we dangerous. But yeah, so that's and doing some digging. You seen footage of us making a fireplace, for lack of what it's really supposed to be called, and just one of our partners, DeLon, his son was there with us, and so he got a chance, to touch the earth and do what I feel I wish I would have been able to do more in my youth. You understand what I'm saying? And the music you heard that was playing in the background while we was putting in work, it's a song called "Payback" by Dead Prez. Dead Prez's newest song, and it's aligned with a lot of things we talked about on previous shows and what we're trying to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Reparations. You hear Stick talking about he's skeptical about the reparations because it's like, why would you even want to assist those you've been trying to destroy for so many years? And so he talks about is there a agenda to hide? They're trying to do something about the dollar, losing its value and everything. But the main thing I get from that song is reparations, it sounds good, but let's do for self, man. We don't want to be dependent on anybody outside of self and expecting any type of handouts. You feel me? Because that's a recipe for failure whenever you depend on somebody else. So they didn't give us our 40 acres and a mule, so it's time, that was a long time ago. And they still ain't did nothing since then. So, we gotta, and Brother Umar was talking about that. Touched on that a little bit last week when he was out here, and we can get into that later. But yeah, that's what you heard as far as for the opening. But what I really wanted to do to start off, I want to recap the last episode.
Okay.
We talked about a few things like why there was so much displacement, or how we used to, the things we're doing was like the norm back in the day, and some people would feel like this is the most important thing I took from it. Some people would feel like, dang, they just got we just get lazy and we just stopped doing what was essential for us to do as far as surviving. But we explained how a lot of the business owners, the people that own land, they was getting killed, and so that you know, and lynching folks and putting them in front of people for all to see, that sets an example to say, hey, don't you be doing nothing like this, or the same thing's going to happen to you. So, you know, it gives some, reason as to why, like, you know, a lot of a lot of this is what we're doing. You don't see enough of us doing. You know what I'm saying? But Crondo, you said like when we was done that you felt that was the best ep we done so far. Why is that?
The structure, the the structure was on point. If you see, I put the bullet points in our privatized joint. Um, but like just the structure and you know, just the topics were good and we were able to roll along with them cool. So it's like y'all know, like I've been doing podcasts for a few years, but I still wouldn't call myself a professional podcaster. I just like to dialogue about certain topics and certain things with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, that is technically a podcast, but I don't have a production set or a production theme line or, you know what I'm saying, anything like that. So to me, that kind of felt like the most uh, on point one I did so far. Because a lot of times when I do it, we just be talking shit, like rambling, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So that was why I think it was the best episode. Oh, but to your point, last time though, well, we talked about this on the Father's Call too last night, and Kylon made a good point. Once you get the things that we're trying to achieve and all that type of stuff, you have to be prepared to kill or die for it because there's going to be people that's going to come and try to take that from you, whether it be legally, whether it be by force, whether it be through a legal technicality. You feel me? Like you just got to be prepared.
Yeah, man.
Indeed.
And when we get into Tahir pick six later on, one of the first things he says about after, when he gets land, let's keep it. Let's keep keep a reminder about the first thing he says about the first thing he does when he gets land. But Kylon, man, last week, brother, like, what was a major takeaway, or what was something? What resonated with you the most as far as um, last the last episode that we did?
For me, even like in preparation for the episode, just kind of reading over some of the material, it's just a stark reminder, you know, when you revisit historical events, for me, it just brought a lot to the forefront as far as like how to prioritize certain things. Like Brother Crondo said, the preservation of what you have is important, regardless of what you are, what you're doing. If you're trying to establish something and grow that, if you can't protect that, it's just going to become food for something else, right? Everything is eating, consuming, dominating something. That's just kind of like the reality of nature. There's a food chain of sorts to everything in our existence. So the great thing about us being human beings in this world is that, especially here in America, we have the capability to kind of like have a level of social mobility that is brought about through our ambition, right? We can enterprise ourselves and we can go out here and get it out the mud, you know, if we choose to do so. And it's really, it really just comes down to like a decision. Once you decide in your mind, the rest is just going through the motions of the execution. So I think in a lot of instances we kind of know, or we may not know, but many of us know, or at least have an idea of what to do. But I think where we tend to fall short is the execution, right? And as far as doing things collectively, a lot of us need the demonstration, right? We need to see it so that it can just kind of reaffirm whatever inclination we may have when we see someone kind of leaning in that direction, or at least beginning like the first couple of steps on that particular path. That serves as a source of inspiration for us to kind of like be on that same accord. So I think that was my biggest takeaway from the last episode.
Yeah, you was talking about execution. Reminds me of a Pac quote, right? Or I think a Pac line where he says, "Plan, plot, strategize." Right.
Mm,
Um, Yeah, man. So also we spoke briefly on a warning that Ted Koppel had as far as how everything could just be shut down and being prepared, right? Um, did Kyle? I know you got a chance to check the video, right? Ted Koppel.
Yeah, with the gentleman that was speaking about, yeah, I did.
Lights Out was the name of the book. What you think, brother? I mean, this is 12 years ago.
Hmm.
12 years ago, he's saying they meddling in their inside and just trying to figure things out. What when 2021, I think it was, when January 6th, um, I feel like that was an opportune time where they can just, like, if they was meddling and they had the capability to shut everything down, that would have been an opportune time to attack or just shut everything down, man. Because that's all I was thinking about during January 6th. But um,
Yeah, yeah, interesting. I can't help but think why it hasn't happened, right? Because I feel like right now, uh, I feel like we are probably the most disoriented as a country. It just seems like everybody's kind of like, I don't know, like everything's divided in such a way. It's not only division, it's also confusion, right? So you have both of those aspects that have kind of intertwined our society to where it's there's so much information. It's it's harder to verify, and people are gullible, ignorant, confused, preoccupied, overconvenienced. So you have a lot of people that aren't even attentive. So it's kind of like the boy that cried wolf in a lot of instances. It's like I feel like at some point we're going to be at a point in time where something that we kind of saw coming is going to be in front of us, and it's like, when it happens, it's just going to be going down. So literally it's going to be like I guess an iteration of like survival of the fittest. Those that know will just be able to move accordingly, I suppose. I don't know. It's concerning for sure.
yeah, even Dr. Umar brought up the purge and how he feels like that's right. What I'm saying? It's coming. I, I don't know how you feel, Crondo, man, but like what Kylan was saying, it makes me feel like just doing the knowledge to and observing how things are so divided in the way society is right now. It makes me feel anxious, right? That's why when we got the plan and everything, I really want. I feel anxious to just get away from everything and get prepared and stockpile whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, um, did you want to add on to that, Crondo, or do you want to move on to like the next topic?
I didn't get a chance to check out the piece that y'all talking about,
Oh, all right.
but I am hip to them. Looking at other things, meddling and just causing different causes and effects because that's just what they do by nature. So I am hip to that, and I just always try to go by the term of like what you said. Like when we did get it, I just wish that um, we had all of the resources, all of the funds to just do whatever. If it was up to me, man, we would have had 10 barns, two or three barns and a lake, and everybody had their own house already out there already. You know what I mean? Where
Hey
everybody
man,
have their own personal
that's
ranch,
it.
gated, electrified. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was up to me, you know what I mean. Eventually, I think that we'll get there. Um, it's just you want to, especially we're in the microwave age, and I'm a product of that environment as well. We want shit like that, but it just takes time. You know what I'm saying? But if it was up to me, we'd already be on that type of time already.
Yeah, I kind of
Let me
feel
add
like
something real quick to that, if you don't mind. The great thing about all of that is that we have the foundational piece. You know what I'm saying? And really, the only thing between us and that is capital, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's a simple, but it can be complicated, right? But it's literally just that, because
yeah,
once that part is figured out, or we organize our thoughts in a manner that brings that about, the rest of it is done. Because we essentially we all have that same like motivation or aspiration. That we all kind of want the same thing in that particular space. So in a lot of instances, that's the hard part, just getting people on the same accord, right? To move collectively. So it's just, I'm just trying to simplify the barrier in front of us, and really, it's just that one thing.
Yeah, capital.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like we running behind and like we're too late, but hopefully we not. It don't matter, man.
Nah, we ain't too late. Yeah, we ain't too late.
Right on time, bro.
Yeah.
I hear you. Now last week, Kylan, I was disappointed that I did not get Killer Mike Reagan because I used to listen to that song all the time until you started messing with Bernie Sanders. I kind of fell off, but yeah, I used to listen to that song, man. But this episode's icebreaker, who spit those bars? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and we'll try to figure it out afterwards if y'all can get it. You know what I'm saying? He say, he started off like, "Don't believe in luck, we catching y'all's blessing. Everything free, we all good, nobody stressing. We got our 40 acres and plus our 40 mules. Fuck Smith and Wesson, we make our own tools. Olympic-sized pools, building our own schools. Land for days, mass producing our own food. We don't need you, cause we independent. Black owned, self-employed. Yeah, we finna get it. Do it big." Y'all know who that is. I butchered it, but yeah.
I'm gonna go with Tahir RBG.
Tahir RBG. Okay.
Yeah.
Good one. What about you, Kylan? I should have rapped in his voice.
That's what I was trying to pick up on. I was trying to pick up on the cadence and try to figure it out. But I'm gonna just throw something at the wall. Is it Dead Prez? Is that another Dead Prez song?
Pretty close, man. Pretty close. Let's go
Paris
ahead.
one.
Nah, let's go ahead and see if this hint helps y'all out.
We can't hear nothing.
I can't hear it.
Oh,
Nah, you got to be careful
yeah,
playing that anyway.
I'm bobbing my head. Y'all can't hear that. Oh shit! I'm all bobbing my head over it. Anyways,
I just hear dead air.
Oh,
what's the East Coast, West Coast, down south?
Down south.
Down south.
Big Crit.
That's another good one. I'm trying to think of a good hint.
What year?
Oh, brother, I don't remember the year, man. But it's Big
Is
Cujo.
it old?
Big
it
Cujo.
90s?
Big Cujo from Goody Mob. The name of the song is called "Do It Big" off of Stickman's album called, check this out, Manhood.
So you should have did it in his voice.
The name of the album is called Manhood. And I do the knowledge, right? It's like we talking about how, being able to build and grow on the land is like a rites of passage to manhood. Those lyrics on an album called Manhood. You know what I'm saying? So I found that interesting.
No, that's a good one right there.
Everybody listening, you can go and look that up on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I think it's on Spotify as well. Stickman's album is called Manhood. Definitely check out his two albums, the Workout 1 and the Workout 2 as well. What y'all think about those lyrics?
Lyrics is hard.
Very hard. Shout out to Stick, Dead Prez, Goody Mob, Dungeon Family, all of that. Drop them real quick. Go through the bars real quick again.
Oh yeah, for sure. We don't believe in luck. We catching y'all's blessing. Everything free. We all good. Nobody stressing. Kind of like me feeling like we late and everything, right? We got our 40 acres and plus our 40 mules. Fuck Smith and Wesson. We making our own tools, right? You know what I'm saying? That's important, right? To be able to make your own bullets and all that. Olympic-sized pools, building our own schools, land for days, mass producing our own food. We don't need you, cause we independent. Black owned, self-employed. Yeah, we finna get it.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope, man. It's cats making their own ARs and all kind of shit, bro.
Right. And what's that
All you
stuff they
gotta do
be?
is you just gotta get the firing pins. That's the part that you gotta get the background check for. You can make all that shit from a firing pin. Make your own yapper.
What about those? What are those? What are those devices called? Those machines where they make in villages and stuff, and they make guns.
Oh, like a 3D printer?
Yeah, those.
Yeah,
Can we make?
yeah,
Yeah, they be using
Yeah,
3D printers for this stuff. That's wow. I
yeah,
forgot about
yeah.
indeed.
You do all
it. Yeah,
that.
man.
So
So,
some January art story, not history examples. You said Kwanzaa principles you want to get into, True?
oh man, indeed, man. Like this is the first year. I don't know about y'all, but this is the first year I really like paid attention to Kwanzaa and really like I don't the candle thing and all the food but I got a chance. We got a micro school over here by Grassroots, and I got a chance to learn some history of Kwanzaa with the youth was talking about like all the principles and everything, and it's dope because it's not about it's dealing with principles and applying them. Now, this is for 7 days, right? But these are the type of things we need to be applying every day. Like when you think of Ujima, which Dr. Umar was building on when he was out there, that's dealing with cooperative working together, right? You know what I'm saying? We doing that. You know what I'm saying? Ujama, that's cooperative economics. We all threw in the pool to get the land, right? You know what I'm saying? And it just shows like when we come together, you know what I'm saying? Like my favorite quote, I said it before, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is power. I could poke you all day, but if I hit you with this, it's gonna do more damage. And it just show and like Kylan, I heard you said like if we got like a volunteers to help on the land and everything, you know, it wouldn't really be ours. Can you add on to that because I don't really. I just want to know where you're coming from with that.
Uh, I'm not sure exactly what you referring to.
What
Do
want me
you,
to
yeah, if you do you remember the context of what we was talking about, or
talking about getting volunteers to help do the work, like a lot of volunteers, right? And then I remember you said something like if we got other people to help build it, it wouldn't truly be ours, or maybe
I think uh, okay, so just by hearing that what you summarized, I kind of have that mentality about not necessarily volunteers, but more so like um, funding from
oh
entities or from the
yeah.
government, things of that nature. I feel like not to totally like discount that or anything, but I just think being mindful of who and where that comes from is a priority because then you're beholden to that, right? He who has cash is king, right? So it's like that concept just kind of speaks to the idea that if I pay for this, you know what I'm saying, I can cut that water off on you too, right?
Right. It gives a control factor to it.
Right, right. And
Mm-hmm.
volunteers, I think, is dope, especially considering this initiative because it will give people the opportunity to, like I was talking about, like the demonstration part of it, the execution, right? Where people can actually come out, see it in person, put their hands and feet in the soil, get that actual experience, like what it's like to be out in a rural can't even call it a community yet, right? In the wilderness, essentially, just having that experience amongst peers or people that they share common interests with, it only sparks imagination, I would think, especially with youth. I think it would be a productive experience and just a good opportunity to get people to kind of get that repetition and also inspire them to either join us or embark on their own projects in a similar vein.
Two other principles of Kwanzaa are that I recall is Nia, which I believe dealt with purpose. We all we all need a purpose to work towards, and then it was what was the last one? Oh man, I think it was Man, can't
You
remember what
on
the
mute,
last.
bro?
Oh, my bad. I said I forgot how you pronounce it, but I know what it is. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to look at it. I want to say Amani, but I know that that's peace, right?
Nah, but it is. It might be Imani.
Is it?
Amani's faith, ain't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So and when you talk about faith, you're talking
So
about like
the last day is Imani. Yeah.
right. So when you talk about faith, you're talking about the belief in your people, right? There's nothing that we can't do if we put our minds together and work together. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, I believe in people. I believe in us, right?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into my beliefs, if you will, but you know what I'm saying. I always tell people like, my religion is the truth, and my way of life is nature. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't teach my kids something I can't show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that everything we see, as far as pulling resources from the ground and building or making anything in this world came from people. So the only people who are going to change, the only thing that's going to change things is people, in my perspective. Do you all practice Kwanzaa, and if so, like, what are some of the principles that resonate with you the most?
I've never practiced it like fully. I did it for like you know, maybe a couple of days, and then I would fall off, and then I would go to maybe like a couple of celebrations in the community regarding it. But I never um, did it for the whole 7 days. It's 7 days, right? I've never
Yeah,
did it for like the whole 7 days and celebrated each day, and then done that before. I haven't done that yet. Um, I would like to though, but I just think that's something that we have to make our own traditions and make it, um, make it our own. But I haven't really done it though, honestly.
it took me a long
I,
time, brother. I'm 45.
I
Go ahead,
have
brother.
in the past with the family. I haven't done it in the past couple of years, but I do recall just kind of going through the principles with the family. Just acknowledge. I mean, the principles are dope. They are what they are. I don't think you can argue with what the intent of those principles are. So yeah, I mean, it's a positive thing. I think nowadays I'm more so leaning into things. I don't know that I feel like have a more personal um, that resonate with me more personally versus just accepting what is kind of given. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
I
That
know.
Um,
makes sense.
Mhm.
so I'm kind of even considering like just kind of like coming up with like um, other days to kind of like give reverence to for particular reasons, whether it be things in my personal like family lineage that I've learned or just certain things, events, or people throughout history that I just think is dope and is worthy of being highlighted and just kind of like, creating some kind of space or some kind of demonstration to just give it up to that.
Indeed.
I got a question for you though, for y'all, both of y'all. How do y'all think those 7 principles tied into what we doing with the land and what we did do with the land? You got unity, you got self determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. That's crazy, huh?
Man,
Yeah,
all
indeed.
of
And that's why I was mentioning earlier. Like when I looked at the principles, practicing it for the first time, like, okay, we doing all this, right? You know what I'm saying?
all of
Ujima, Ujama, all of it, really, brother, all of it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
And the
sure.
thing about Kwanzaa, it's about, Malcolm X said, we left our mind in Africa, right? And we became this whole new type of creation in America called the Negro, right? Which is basically like slaves and hard workers for white people, right? And what I love about Kwanzaa, it gets us back to African traditions, which is about coming together. And you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was just easy to like just to dive in, because when you deal with on the that 7 days is dope because instead of like just whatever all the other festivities and everything, you're focusing on something that's very important, right? And that deals with like self-determination and things that are gonna progress you in life, that's productive, instead of just going with the Joneses, what they give us. You know what I'm saying? And just, y'all hear that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
Okay. And just dealing with like supreme mathematics on the daily, it kind of reminded me of that, because when we deal with the day's mathematics every day, we're looking at principles and how we apply them, how we see them. And like if it's not on point, one of your brothers will check you and be like, yo, that ain't right and exact. This should be like this and whoop whoop. And it's like, sharpening swords and everything. So I love Kwanzaa, man. I'm gonna get even more into it next time, but Kwanzaa's dope, man. I like Kwanzaa.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So you also got on here Haiti declaring its independence. Rosewood book highlight.
Yo, man. Um, Haiti, January 1st, I believe. Um, I don't.
1804.
Yeah, 1804 is when it. Yeah, January
1804.
1st when it
Yeah.
ended. I don't remember when it started. Like, but uh, one of the main things we was talking about, being able to protect what we build, right? And when I think about Haiti, besides the fact that everybody likes to ignore that happened, and there's been no movie about Haiti, and and we know why, right? You know what I'm saying? We know why that is, but it's like a great documentary is called 1804 by Tariq Nasheed, put it out, who did Hidden Colors like 1 through 5,
Yeah.
and they
I haven't
talk about,
seen it yet though.
oh man, that mug is
Yeah, it's
cold.
dope.
American too, but 1804 focuses on Haiti, and it's like, because of they knew the terrain, they utilized that to their advantage, right? And there was a spiritual aspect to it as well, and how they overcame, like the French and all that. But it's real deep, man. So that's all going around at this time, January 1st. And but then on the flip side, and well, first, y'all have anything y'all want to add on about Haiti before I get into Rosewood?
I mean, I second what you said about. I seen Tariq Nasheed's documentary 1804. I didn't know. I knew of it. I just didn't know a lot of the details that he was able to present. So, I mean, Tariq Nasheed, there's one thing that I don't think anyone can deny. He's great at putting together those productions. So, there was just a lot of interesting things that I learned about it, and the spirit of what they done is yeah, it's something that they don't, the dominant society or they that's not something that's being highlighted. And I can only imagine if like those stories were as prevalent in our education as, Paul Revere, Columbus, and Lewis and
Come
Clark, and all the stuff that they just kind of hammered into us, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man. And again, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to again when Dr. Umar was here, Ujima. He was talking about the importance of institution building, right? Where we have our own institutions to be able to teach these type of things, right? We've had a screening discussion for 1804, right? Um, what else? Oh, supporting black businesses, right? And then working together, and all that. But Rondo, Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm of Haitian descent, so I fucks with it. I haven't watched the documentary yet, but yeah, I know all about it. I've read a lot of Desaline, and you know what I'm saying, all the cast and Toussaint, and I know a little bit about it. I haven't watched the documentary yet though, but I do know that was the first post slave trade, uh, the first black independent nation.
Yeah, it's
You
it's
know,
the it's the I believe it's the only. Well, man, I ain't got my information, man, because I was at home,
well,
and
I think it's also worthy of highlighting that they defeated what many consider the most dominant, the most prestigious European war general, Napoleon, his
right?
French army. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like it was just like some little thing that happened. I mean, it was pretty significant in
nothing
the
little at
historical
all.
timeline that they was able to put it down like that. Now, it is unfortunate that, you know, they've kind of been like perpetually punished for that. and somewhat outcasted. And I'm sure some of us are aware of some of the exploits that have gone on till this day with a lot of the foundations that come and go through there. Um, but it's definitely something that needs to be highlighted, and hopefully the youth will benefit in an inspirational way to just carry on that spirit. Things like that, when you're aware of it, it does something to you because, like you said, especially if you're of that descent, it kind of like, to me, it kind of like that DNA is in you, right? So that spirit, that those like it's here. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I remember Bobby Hemmett used to say, sometimes you got to make a phone call to your own ass, right? And essentially, it's just like sometimes you got to remind yourself like who the fuck you
who you
are.
are,
You know what I'm
who you
saying?
are. Yeah. And it was primarily guerrilla warfare. Back then,
Mm,
that's like what's the proper way of looking at it? That's like like how they was doing in Vietnam vets over in Vietnam. They know the terrain. They was they was getting their ass towed down at first. You know what I'm saying? Until they had to come through with the choppers and all that type of stuff. So they got whooped on by guerrilla warfare.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And my black brother mixing in with the trees. Tree come out and chop your head off.
right,
You
Yeah.
know what
right,
I'm saying? Like,
And to speak to what you said, Caroline, it's the only nation that was enslaved to fight back and win in the war
there
ever.
you go,
mm-hmm.
there you
You
go,
know what I'm saying? So of
there you
course they
go.
want to suppress that shit because it can be done and that can inspire like a lot of other people. But on the flip side, you look at Rosewood in Florida, which John Singleton, RIP, made a movie about. This
I've
was
never seen that yet. I've never
oh, wow.
seen.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I've
Yeah,
seen. I really don't like watching those type of movies that get me like
you
pissed
got
off.
to. Bro.
I just watched a movie last week, man. Called 24, about a 24-inch. I've never heard the story, and I'm pretty much up on my on my black historical shit. I don't know if you ever heard of it. True. It was 24th century in Houston, Texas. They basically was getting persecuted and beat up and tormented for like a couple of years while they were there in the army. They killing those brothers in the army. Finally, they just snapped and went on a race riot in the city of Houston. This is like 1911 or something like that, bro. Smoked like 13, 14 people.
mm,
And they hung all 30 of them.
wow.
It's called
Yeah,
Infantry 24 or something like that, man. It's on Amazon Prime. You
is
should
that
check it out.
is that is that what started the ADL? Because or maybe
It
I'm
came out 2 years ago. I'm not sure, honestly.
spoken with something else.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that shit pissed me off though. That's back to my point. And then like I watched like Detroit and Mississippi Burning and Rosewood. I've never really sat down and watched it.
Rosewood's hard to watch, straight up.
It
Is
is,
it?
bro. Yeah, it's hard to watch. I remember
Yeah,
watching that one back in the day, and it's like certain movies, it's like you just kind of you seen it, you get that out the way. It's like you got to be in a certain, I don't know, to revisit that. It's like it's traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. But I
I'm gonna
mean,
watch it.
the fact that that when they started burning down Rosewood and lynching black people on January 1st.
Mm,
Now, uh, American Maroon talks about how I don't know if it's genetic memory, but how what do they call it? Like revenge. There was something revenge memory is what it's called, something like that.
mm,
And you know, I just kind of connect the dots sometimes, right? Like so, Haiti's independence was on January 1st. They started burning down Rosewood on January 1st
Mm-hmm.
as
mm,
kind of like retaliation or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
mm.
where's the connection?
what's that
Yeah,
all about? You feel me? Like
I don't like to use the term
wait
white
for this.
supremacy. Well, what about the white inferiority disturbs them about our independence?
Well, we can't have anything, man. It's kind of like it's kind of like the Pinocchio factor, right? It's like Pinocchio. It's like
Even when we went
Frankenstein.
up there to the land, like, what are you doing here? Like that type of
Well,
energy. It still trickles over a
you,
couple hundred years fucking later.
you have to understand, and I'm probably gonna go off a little bit, man. But it's like when you understand the story of Frankenstein, you understand the story of Pinocchio. If you prescribe to some of these things we be hearing about, these folk tales, if you will, like Yakub and everything. Like if they come from us and they're inferior, they're just because they can't be like us. Dr. Umar was talking about how they hate our ability to reproduce ourselves. We're the only people on this planet that can reproduce ourselves with anybody we lay down with. You know what I'm saying? So like when we talk about the black man as God, ain't no supernatural deity type shit. We talking about science, bro. You know what I'm saying? It could be shown and proven in the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it's kind of like your little brother wanting to outplay you on the basketball court. Like you his big brother, you always dunking on him and everything, but he want to beat you, and he'll cheat, he'll scratch and claw, whatever to do that, and you winning just frustrates him, makes him cry and all that and everything, and that's how I relate it to. Like when you think about Pinocchio, he wanted to be a real boy. Frankenstein, he wanted, the Frankenstein monster, man. He couldn't be like a real human. You know what I'm saying? And you could even take it to Terminator and other things, man. But the story is told time and time again, just in different ways. You know what I'm saying? But
that's a good answer.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one.
I agree with that. I think like on the upper level of like the I think like the elite classes, I think it's definitely that. It's more of like a genetic survival type of thing. Eugenics essentially. Like the whole concept of a gated community is to keep us out. You know what I mean? So I think there's like iterations of that, like in various aspects of our existence. But like for the typical lower to middle class person, I think it's just like a lot of ignorance and entitlement that they have been conditioned to
that's true.
just kind of walk around with, you know what I mean, thinking that they own everything, having a particular, perspective about people that don't look like them or come from them. Because they don't really know, you know what I mean? And in certain instances, what they think they do know, they don't have any idea. So I think it's just like a grandiose sense of like entitlement, like literally thinking like they own everything, they run everything, they deserve an answer for everything. You know what I mean? Like they walk around like they need explanations. You know what I'm saying? They want your credentials and shit like that. So it's it's a lot of bullshit, and unfortunately, a lot of it is just simply ignorance. So I think the best thing that we could do is continue to increase our representation in these spaces and not be fearful. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing that you were talking about earlier about how they were lynching people and just really discouraging people through intimidation. Like we can't let that reemerge and dominate us, because that is bigger than the boogeyman itself. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be out here intimidated, half stepping, like apprehensive about going into these spaces, because I have a sense of entitlement as well. You know what I mean? The earth is my turf as well. And,
Bro, say that again. Say that
I,
again.
I, I feel like, our ancestors are the true Americans. We not only did we take the first bullet, we built the economic engine here. We got all this blood, sweat, and tears in the soil. We provide all the flavor, all the culture, and I ought to be just as entitled. You know what I'm saying? So, when I'm traveling or into these spaces or just throughout the country, that's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it just takes more of us to move in that particular right and just let them know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
You said true Americans, the original natives. They say the earth belongs to the people, and these people got the earth to be entitled and feel everything belongs to them when they're indigenous to no place.
Yes.
Indigenous to no places, making these imaginary borders. You know what I'm saying? Trying to own the whole world. Like their president. Everywhere the white man goes, he brings misery all throughout history. You can look it up. You know what I'm saying? That's the line, right? And that's true. So you have to talk about their nature. You know what I'm saying? If this has happened all throughout history, you could look it up. That says something about their nature. And then when you look at our history, and everywhere we go, we brought civilization. That says something about our nature.
That ain't happening with the growth spot though.
Huh?
Yeah,
It ain't
it's
happening
fact.
with the growth spot though. Shit, that's the
Well,
buck
he
stops
is here,
here.
bro.
Goddamn, the buck stops here. Shit. Matter of fact, we on the call tomorrow with the what is it again? As far as the growth spot update, the G-Bar Ranch meeting for what is it for?
Yeah. It's the meeting for the like the committee, like the G-Bar committee.
Okay.
I don't know if they calling it like a road committee or what. But yeah, it's just, like I said, that representation, having the audacity to show up is important.
And see, I hope y'all do it for me, man, because I'm good. I don't get out to 4:30. Can we come in late? What kind of people watching? Like, what are you talking
I
about?
need to look at that information again and see what
I'm gonna try to
is
be
it
on.
literally is this virtual access, right?
Yeah, it's virtually. Yeah, I
Y'all
don't
gonna
got the
scare
link
the
though,
shit
so
out of
somebody
them.
gonna have to put the link in the chat.
Y'all gonna scare the shit. They're gonna be like, "Who these thugs?"
Good, because they the thugs to
Good.
me.
Shit.
They the thugs to me. Tripping when we out there minding our own business. They weren't tripping like that. Let me not let the people think
No,
that
they
they up there
weren't, boy.
that they pulled up on us all crazy. Like no, but they were what's the word? What's the correct word I'm gonna use?
They felt
Perplexed.
entitled to know what
Yeah.
was going on.
Like we
You know what I'm saying? Playing
yeah,
park ranger and shit.
like what these niggas doing over here? They ain't got no money to get some land.
They were mad perplexed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yo, I wanted to highlight a book that deals with that aligns with what we about. I can't wait to get into this. It's called
Pull it
Black
back a
Earth.
little bit. Pull
It's
it back a
called
little bit. There you go.
Black Earth Wisdom, right?
Black Earth Wisdom by Leah Pennyman.
Yeah. She got this other book called Farming While Black. And there's one more that we had up in here, but I just want to read the sleevelet, and you can see why I'm highlighting this. While racial capitalism has attempted to sever our connection to the sacred earth for 400 years, Black people have long seen the land and water as family, treating the earth as a home essential. Farmer, activist, and self-proclaimed soil nerd Leah Penniman is among those who persist in recovering our ancient practices, and in Black Earth Wisdom, she reminds us that ecological humility is an intrinsic part of our cultural heritage. This thought-provoking anthology brings together today's most respected and influential Black environmentalist voices. These varied and distinguished experts include Pulitzer Prize and National Book Award winning author Alice Walker, the first Queen Mother and official spokesperson for the L.E.G.A.C.Y Nation, Queen Quet, marine biologist, policy expert, and founder and president of Urban Ocean Lab, Dr. Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson, and executive director of the North Carolina Association of Black Lawyers Land Loss Prevention Project, Savi Horn. These leaders address the essential connection between nature and our survival, and how runaway consumption and corporate insatiability are harming the earth and impacting every facet of American society, including racial violence, food apartheid, and climate injustice. Penniman makes clear that the fight for racial and environmental justice demands that people put our planet first and defer to nature as our teacher. This soulful collection of illuminating essays continues the effort to revive our ancestral and ancient practices of listening to the earth for guidance. Boy, if that ain't say it all, I don't know.
Okay, I'm fucking with it.
Yeah, man.
I'm fucking with it. I'm about to come check that out. Come check that out after you, man. I come check that out for sure.
Might have to do a book study on that one. Yo, we got time to do.
Yeah.
We got time to get into this pick six. Well, man, we over. We could do it.
Yeah, we're over. Then we'll take that on to next week.
Yeah. That's a whole, remember how it was up in the lab, man.
It's a whole 30, 20-minute topic. But shit, we're gonna wrap it up until next week, man. You got any last words, True? You the moderator tonight.
Yeah, I just want to say, first of all, peace to all the real brothers and sisters that think positive and do positive things. Kylan, I'm looking forward to next week because Kylan touched on something where he was talking about more personal things to like highlight and elevate. And on that song, Pick Six, he talks about what about Malcolm X Day? What about Martial Arts Day? And things like that. We can make up our own days.
I mean, even considering what we doing, we need our own, like, we need a book, like, when we decided or when we purchased the land, that could be a holiday in itself. You know what I mean? Like that's monumental. Like
That's what
we
it's about.
carry this energy on,
Facts.
um,
Facts.
you know, through generation to generation. It's like, okay, this is the day they put it down. And that was that was the cornerstone of what this is now. So it's like things like that. It's like,
So
the things that are living, no
anniversaries.
disrespect, the things that are living and thriving and doing things right now is like more important than the closed books that we know of, the things that have passed and transition. We gotta like give it up to the people that's here that's making noise. So it's like, yo, what we doing is not typical, it's not regular, it's not nothing to, it's not just any old thing. So yeah, I'm with that for sure.
We still got our dash. We in our dash right now. Born date. We in that dash right now, so we got to do a lot with that dash. So that makes a lot of sense.
All
Indeed.
right, y'all. That's it. Y'all make sure y'all feeling what y'all hearing. Y'all see the Cash App and the website below. You can get shirts at the website, and you can throw a donation or whatever on the Cash App as well. Until next time.
Peace and
Peace.
blessings.